It is finally the end of May, so it is time to go into what I read and if I liked it and if you guys should read it, because it's a reading wrap-up time. I think I'm also going to include my hopefuls for next month in this list as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. The first book I read this month was Scythe Sparrow. It's the third book of the Ruinous Love trilogy. And I rated this book, I have it pulled up right over here. I rated this book 4.5 stars. Very fun and exciting. Not my favorite out of the 3 books in the series. This book is about Rose and Fionn. Is how I say it, you know, Fionn. Fionn. It's about Rose and Fionn, and Rose is like a circus girly who like is also like a serial, or well, she tries to be a serial unaliver. Okay, she's not very good at it by all means. And then Fionn is a doctor, and they go through their love story just like his brothers, and it's actually really fun because you get like cameos from the other characters and everything like that. So I had a great time with this. I did some tabbies. This was the first book I ever tabbed, which is so cute. Oh my gosh, let's open and see if we can find a cute quote, right? Oh, I'm here to let my monster free, and there's only one thing that beast truly wants: to claw its way closer to Rose. And I wrote, he loves her, with a smiley face.
She loves me.
I did really enjoy this book. It was very fun. 4.5 stars, like I said. It's a little spicy. Check your trigger warnings. No, check your trigger warnings. And yeah, definitely a good read. Continuing on, I read Exquisite Ruin by Adrienne May. I believe this is her first like adult romantasy book. Before this, it's a lot of YA, and I think she goes by a different name for her YA books. But Adrienne May, I've already forgot the main characters' names. I wrote these little things on the inside. I gave this book 3 stars. I think I enjoyed the story for the most part. So this book is about Sadere. She wakes up in this labyrinth, and she's kind of like, where am I? Because the girl's lost all of her memories. She wakes up, she has no memory, and she is there with, oh my gosh, what's his name? She is there with Daeshra, who is our FMC. Now, he has a feisty mouth, one would say, but I honestly had a hard time feeling connected to either of these characters. It's an enemies to lovers, and it, you know, like, she works. Enemies to lovers, like, they actually do like hate each other, try to, you know, unalive each other throughout most of the book. But I definitely think that it's an interesting read. 3 stars is not a bad rating. It's just, you know, like, it's not the first book I'm gonna recommend to somebody who is getting into romantasy or anything like that. It is pretty interesting though, if you guys want to give it a read, you know, based off of mythology, labyrinths, that kind of thing. I do like the setting. The plot, like, as the plot went on, I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. So I don't know if that's something you're into. Also, I'm not sure if this book is gonna get a second. The ending kind of left things open in my mind. Maybe it is just a standalone and I'm reading into it wrong, but like, we'll see. Then I read Twisted Love by Anna Huang, which I don't remember what Twisted Love was about, to be honest. Anyway, I'm moving on. I rated this book 3.5 stars. I did post a reading vlog on this book, okay? It was in my TikTok, popular TikTok books video. And I talked about this a lot in it. I really enjoyed the way this book started. But as it kind of went on, it was like, why are there 50 million plot lines and why are they all ending at different points of time? Like, why is the book not over? So that was my biggest gripe with this book. It was still a fun time, and I still, for the most part, enjoyed the relationship between the 2 characters. It did feel a little forced, I do believe. I just wish it, like, the ending was better, you know? I love a good ending to a book. Not like, oh, I want this book to end. I'm so tired of this book. No, I'm like, endings can sometimes like change my whole perspective on a book. Like, I was looking back over some of my ratings and I gave Quicksilver 4.5 stars. I noted in my review, I was like, I did not understand the first 60% of this book, but the ending had me shook and it got a 4.5 star rating, which is crazy. Twisted Love got a 3.5, which is fine. It's just, it's not the first one I would recommend. I do have the audiobook ready to go for the second book, Twisted Games, that I heard that is the best one in the series. So I was so excited to read that one next month, which we'll get into later. Oh my gosh, so many good books this month. Wait, hold up. I read Binding 13, which is probably one of my favorite contemporary romances ever. It was so good. It says I gave it 5 stars. It's honestly like God tier 6 stars. Like, it was so good. Binding 13 is about Shannon. She was getting bullied and everything at her old school. So her parents enrolled her in Talmud College, where she, you know, she has some friends there and she wanted to start fresh. So she meets Johnny in the funniest way ever, and I'm not gonna tell you how, even though it happens in like the first 5 chapters, because it's so funny and you need to find out for yourself. She meets Johnny, who is a rugby, like a really, really good rugby player, and they meet and it's basically their story, right? I ate it up. The trauma was just so sad. The relationship was so there. I felt so connected to every single character in the book. It was so crazy. It was like they were my besties and we were all hanging out, and like I was learning these things about my friends and I was like, oh my gosh, are they okay? You know? So it's like, oh, I was enjoying it so much. It was such a great time. Honestly, I am so excited to read the rest of the series. I then read A Court of Frost and Starlight, which this book was okay. I mean, it's only like 200 pages, so it's not that crazy. This is the fourth book in the ACOTAR series, which it's just a little novella. It's nothing crazy. It's just wrapping up Feyre and Rhysand's storyline, which is cool. I gave this 2.75 stars. The only saving grace for this was Feyre and Rhysand. Like, I really loved the relationship in this book a lot more than I liked them in ACOWAR, just because they were so sweet to each other. They were so kind. It was so sweet. They just missed each other. They just wanted to spend more time together. I love that. I love that so much. But other than that, I just found this boring. Like, there was no real plot here. The main plot was just that, you know, the winter solstice was coming up. But like, no twists, no turns. It just felt pretty bland. I expected more from this. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be anything crazy, but I wanted more from this. And that's why I gave it a 2.75 star. Not sure. I mean, I'm probably going to read A Court of Silver Flames eventually, but I'm just not into the Sarah J. Maas stuff, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna try and keep going slowly but surely, but I have not been. I think I enjoyed A Court of Mist and Fury, and that was it. Like, I wasn't really into anything else. And then I read Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. Oh my gosh, this book, guys, this book has me in a chokehold right now. I just finished it yesterday, and I don't even know how to explain the sheer shock I am in right now. This book is about my girl, Odessa. She is a princess for her country. I don't remember the country names, I couldn't tell you. I barely remember the names of the people. And I just finished this book yesterday. So we're just gonna figure it out as we go. But anyway, Odessa. She's a princess. She is kind of the one that like sits in the back. She's not the favorite kid. Her sister May is supposed to be like the Sparrow, which the Shield of Sparrows is like this treaty amongst the different countries, and it's supposed to help protect them from the Crux migration, which is like this big thing that happens like every 30 years, and it wipes out like a bunch of towns, a bunch of people, and it's basically what they think is like the god's way of keeping them in check. May was supposed to be the Sparrow, but one day the Prince of Tura comes to their land to slay these monsters, and boom, now our girl Odessa gets chosen as a bride prize and becomes a Sparrow, which her father was not happy about. It's about her journey going to Tura, trying to get information on their people, and oh my gosh. There's so much to the story. Like, I'm only giving you guys a small bit because going in as blind as possible makes the experience so much better, in my opinion. Like, when I'm reading any book, fantasy, romance, dark romance, anything, I try not to guess at all. I don't read descriptions of books. I go in basically off covers alone. And I saw this recommended on like TikTok, and I was like, everybody was like 5-star, 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 but nobody ever really gave any information about the book. So I was like, bet, I'm reading this, the cover's cute, we're gonna go into it. Did not expect this to be one of my favorite books of the year. The writing just flowed in a way that made my brain happy. And at one point I was like at 60 or 70% or something. I was like, man, this is going so slow. And then I like turn a page and it's like, it just picked up and it just kept going and so much kept happening. And even the last like 2 chapters, you're still finding out information. I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought this was a standalone. Now you're telling me there's a second book coming out and I have to wait and I don't know when it's coming out. So needless to say, this is like quality, maybe 6-star, 5 to 6-star. Like, come on. I'm obsessed. This is now my entire personality. I relate to Odessa so much. Like, she's always the one that's like a last thought, you know, like she's always in the background lurking. Like, nobody really asks. I don't know, it's gonna get really sad really fast, but her resilience and like her always asking the questions and her making sure that like, oh, I just love it so much. I can't even describe to you what it is. It's just so good. Last but not least, in May, I read Dating and Dragons. I actually just finished this morning. I wanted to get one more book read before the end of the month, so now I have a total of 7, which is equivalent to last month. Why am I always out of breath when I'm talking? Like, I feel like I force too much air. And I'm like, you know? But anyway, this book, I think I gave it 3.75 stars. This is about my girl Quinn. She moves to a new town. Very common theme with this month's read is our FMC moves to a new town. She moved to this new town and she joins this D&D group. They live stream their sessions, and one of their main rules in the group is that they cannot date other players in the group. Now Logan, though, Mr. Logan, they meet on the first day. There's a little bit of like a meet cute there, and yeah, it's just, they're so cute together. I love Logan. He's giving very much overprotective and jealous guy. And, you know, our FMC, she dresses in like the bohemian clothes. She makes jewelry. Like, it's just so cute and I love it so much. 3.75 star because it wasn't like the best thing I read, and the D&D theme was almost too much for me, even though I love D&D. But I got lots of good tabbies out of it. Let's see if we can open up to a good one. Oh, this was a good one. This was a good one. Okay. I haven't kissed anyone in a long time, and I have no intention of changing that. Not with anyone, I whisper. He puts a strand of hair behind my ear. No one but you. Ah! Oh my gosh. This romance was just so cute, and I loved it so much. But yeah, that's all the books I read, which is so crazy. Now that I've talked about all the books that I've read so far this month, let's go ahead and talk about I'm spacing. Let's go ahead and talk about the books that I hope to read in the month of June, which June's gonna be a big reading month for me. I am not taking classes over the summer, so we're going to read, and I got some good ones. So I'm thinking the ones that I want to get through are Caught Up by Nevessa Allen. I pre-ordered the book and it comes out on June 10th, so I'm so excited. But before I read Caught Up, I want to reread Lights Out and annotate it because I just got myself the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I want to read the audiobook again because the audiobook was so good and I can just check it out from my library and then annotate this book, get any information that I'm thinking I'm gonna need for Caught Up, and also highlighting how cute Josh and Allie are because they're so cute. I love them. And reading this first, so I'll read this before Caught Up comes out and then I'll read Caught Up. Then I also plan on reading the entirety of the Boys of Common series. Since I've already read Binding 13 this month, I'm gonna start with Keeping 13 and I'm gonna read all the way to Releasing 10, which just came out like a couple days ago when I'm filming this. And I'm going to have an emotional trip for like 2 weeks. I'm gonna try and take my time with it. I'm gonna really read and experience it. Most of them are on Kindle Unlimited, so that's how I'm gonna read it since I'm trying not to really buy books right now. But I'm also gonna try and get through the 7-Year Slip. This was one of the first books that I bought when I first started getting into reading. I've had this for a while now, and I've picked it up once and was like, no, I don't want to read this right now. So I think I'm gonna try and get into this at the beginning of the month, in my grace period before I start reading books that will destroy my soul. So we'll get a cutesy little romance book in there. I also, like I mentioned earlier, want to try and read Twisted Games by Anna Huang, which I'm so excited for. It's bodyguard and princess. Oh my gosh. And it's gonna be like a real world setting. I'm so excited and I'm hoping it's a good one. And other than that, those are the ones that I really want to get through. Oh, there's one more. I checked out Voice of the Ocean from my local library. And as a Simmer girl at my heart, I love The Sims. And so I love Kelsey and Piaget. And I really want to read Voice of the Ocean. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm not sure what it's about. I know it's about a siren. That's all I need to know because like I told you earlier, I like to go in blind, barely knowing if I know there's gonna be a second book. I'm up to date with this, but I like to go in blind. I don't want to know what the plot's about. I don't want to know anything about it. And same with the other books. I'm going in blind. I mean, besides Lights Out and besides Boys of Common, I guess I know what those are about. But anyway, I think I'm gonna start the month off with the 7-Year Slip. I already picked out this tab color to match the year part, and then this to match the cover for the highlighter. And so that book, and then also Voice of the Ocean because this is due. So I need to get her done before June 13th. Other than that, I just kind of want to read whatever I feel comfortable reading, and I hope you guys are going to follow along with me on that journey here or on my TikTok. I am really active there. Yeah, thank you guys so much. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and also comment some of your June hopefuls down below. I would love to hear all about it if you made it this far into the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!